Hey everyone, it's Andrew Praver here with Great Expectations Realty, and today is Monday, and that means it's time for What's Up Ocala. Well, welcome to my new digs. I will give you the grand tour once everything is out of boxes, hopefully, but I am in our new office here in Ocala, which is oddly enough right next door to our old office. Our old office was like maybe 1,000 square feet. Very, very small. We outgrew it a while back, that's for sure. And now this one is like 2,300 square feet. So it's kind of crazy getting used to all of this space. Look at this. I have a couch in my office. Is that not the coolest thing ever? I mean, yeah, I have like a desk and stuff like, you know, for actual work once in a while. But I mean, how cool is this? I have a desk in my office. I have an office in here. With 1,000 square feet and shared between 23 agents, a bookkeeper, a receptionist, property managers, property management assistant, all of this stuff. We were all just scrunched into this little area. There was no way that I could have my own personal office here in Ocala. I did in Denellen, but this is actually way bigger than the space that I had in Denellen too. So I am just so incredibly thrilled to have my own little space here and to actually get some work done, and communication is great. I can shut the door and call people. It's just so great. I can't even tell you how excited I am. Okay, so enough about that. I'm sure you're happy for me, but do you really care about me getting a new office? I mean, come on. All right, I'm excited. That's all I'm gonna say is 2022 is already looking to be so incredibly amazing. And so much stuff is going on in Ocala that's just, I just cannot express how cool it is. There's just so much stuff going on, so many changes going on, and it's just going so quickly. It's hard to keep up with it all, but that's my job. So I'm keeping up with it all. All right, let's talk about the stuff going on in Ocala as far as new stuff coming in. Restaurants we've got coming soon is Antojitos 352. That's over on West Silver Springs Boulevard. So that one's exciting. We also have Soleil? Is it Soleil? Soleil. I'm gonna have to ask them how, I think Soleil would be the way to explain it. Anyway, Soleil confections and desserts. We have a restaurant for desserts coming in, y'all. I'm kind of excited. It says that it's supposed to be opening February 2022. Of course, we've got the Cody's coming in. That they're saying is going to be done March 2022, but I don't know. That's down by On Top of the World, kind of like right by the Publix and all of that right there. They're building a big hotel back behind that as well. So it's kind of interesting to see Highway 200, how it's just kind of going further west. A lot of the growth in the county is really in the southwest section. So of course northwest as well because of the World Equestrian Center, but it's just kind of cool to see. You can see it just kind of growing steadily that way. So kind of interesting. But that Cody's restaurant is opening up tentatively March 2022. I hope that does come to pass, but we'll see. And then it's got District Bar and Kitchen, and that's over on Broadway Street. So that sounds like it's going to be downtown on the square. More details to follow on that one. It will not be open until September 2022. Wonder if that's anything to do with pie on Broadway. I don't know. I'll let you know. Okay, I'll get the gossip and we'll see. As far as events coming up, oh my goodness, we've got so much stuff going on. All right, so we've got the Tuscaloosa Art Park series. And one of the things that I did want to mention is they have the new sculptures up. So I know there's going to be like a brunch, but it was like $50 or something. No, $25 that I was like, oh, well, I'm not just going to go by myself. So I was going to get tickets to that, but honestly, I'm kind of more of a stroll through the park myself instead of taking the tour. And while brunch is nice, I kind of like to go to the restaurants myself, and you know, I love having lunch downtown on the square. So I figured I'd probably just go and do the sculptures and check them out on that Saturday, and then go and do, you know, because they are going to have a festival in the park for those new sculptures. But if you are interested in doing the brunch, I think it's called Boba, B-O-B-A, And you can Google it. They are having a brunch and the bolted art. So brunch and bolted art or something like that. Anyway, but they are doing that. So I saw that and I'm like, oh, should I not? I don't know. But honestly, we'll probably go to see the bolted art or the sculptures that they have at the park. I believe there's like 10 new sculptures. So I'm really excited to see that, to show you guys that. But I think I'm gonna go and check out one of the new restaurants downtown. There's so many new restaurants. And also I think it's on a Saturday that they're doing that. So that means that the farmer's market is also going on down there. So it is gonna be really wild coming up at the Tuscaloosa Park and everything. I think that's this weekend, actually. I will double check, but I believe that's this weekend. Now there's also the Bluegrass and Barbecue, and that's on Friday, January 21st, and it's 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And that is something I really wanted to do. Really, because I mean, Bluegrass and Barbecue. I think I mentioned it to you guys, I don't know, a while back. But it's almost here. It's January 21st. That's when that happens. So yeah, art begins, and that's on Saturday, February 19th, 9 a.m. And then 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. I think that's when they're actually doing the boba. So February 19th. Again, more details to follow. After Dark in the Park is Friday. That's March 25th, from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. The Cattle Drive and Cowboy Roundup, that's also at Tuscaloosa Park. That's Saturday, February 12th, and it's 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Let's see, what else? They've got the Levitt Amp Music Festival Field is at Webb Field. Wow, I'm messing this up. Okay, at Webb Field, they're doing the Levitt Amp Music Festival Series. I think I got it right this time. Y'all need to come up with a smaller name, okay? Just, you know, how hard is like something like boba? Okay, go with that. All right, anyway. But they are doing that April 22nd to July 1st. So it is going to start getting into that warmer time of the year, but it's at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So with the light on, you know, the sunlight out later at those time frames, that's normally when it's a lot cooler. I know that they had like fans with misters and stuff last time I went to them, and honestly they never even needed really to turn those on because the weather was so nice in the evenings. It was just really pleasant. So they normally have some food there, like some food trucks and stuff, and there's some games for the families and stuff. So it was actually a really fun time. No matter what is going on with the pandemic, it's still really cool to be able to go and do outdoor activities like this, pandemic or no. All right. Speaking of, they're also going to have Friday night movies. We've got Princess and the Frog, 7 p.m. at Webb Field. That's February 25th. And Dreamgirls is March 25th, and that's at 8 p.m. at Tuscaloosa Art Park. So pretty cool. Of course, we have our theaters in Ocala. We've got the Marion Theater, the Epic Theater. I think Epic Theater is the one you can lay down in it. But let's see. We've also got the regular theaters, the actual like play theaters. I don't know. There's just so much stuff. There's so much stuff. Let's see. And of course, we've got the Canyon Zip Line. If you've never gone ziplining before, you have got to go. It's so much fun. I thought for sure I was going to die. I thought I was going to have a heart attack and die. I thought my rope was going to snap or something. It's not rope. It's actually cable. But still, I was freaked out the whole time, and it was actually a lot of fun, and I would happily do it again. So as much as I was freaking out over the whole thing, it was actually really super awesome, and I would do it again. All right. So we have our numbers. And then I'm going to get into something else that I've done a whole bunch of research on. So for today, we had 42 new listings, and then we had 41 go pending. So that's a nice little even ride. But I will say a lot of the new listings that hit today were new construction, really reasonably priced new construction homes. And it's World Corp is the realty office that's doing that. I really love the builder there. They're great. It's a small independent builder. They don't go like really fancy frou-frou, but it is a nice home, solidly built concrete block homes. They've got a really outstanding reputation. We've been begging them for houses for like a year. They have not had any houses at all hit the market. And then all of a sudden today, they just flooded us with them. They have different price ranges. It's basically small, medium, or large. So, but they're all really reasonably priced. Like you can get a little under 1,400 square feet of living space, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, double car garage. And that one, it's just a real cookie cutter house. But that one is selling for $224,900. So $225,000, you can get a brand new house. Is that the right? Hold on. I gotta double check now just to make sure. Yeah, $224,900. All my research and then I forgot the price. But yeah, so a whole slew of those hit the market. If you guys are interested in those houses, let us know. Some of the smaller, it's like a 3-2, but it's like a real basic model, really small 3-2, single car garage. That one I think is hitting for like $182. But you can get a brand new construction house for under $200,000. That's pretty cool. It's a nice starter home, or if you're like looking to downsize or something like that, that might be a good option for you. And then of course they do have a higher end one as well that's reaching up closer to 280, 285, something like that. But it has a lot more bells and whistles to it, and it's, you know, a little bit bigger and, you know, a little fancier, but still a really nice, solidly built house. So, but those are hitting the market. So if you would like some information on those, go ahead and visit our website at GER.ExpectationsOcala.com, or send me an email, which is at AndreaPraber@gmail.com. So it's AndreaP as in Paul, RO, E as in Edward, B as in Bravo, E as in Edward, R @gmail.com. Everybody always asks me, what's my name? What's my name? What's my name? Just go with Andrea. All right. Anyway, so we had 42 houses hit the market, 27 price increases, and 13 price decreases. That was interesting. Maybe it's all those from last week that decreased now went up. I don't know. Anyway, so it's interesting that little bit right there. And then sold, we actually had 17 that actually closed today. So interesting information that. Now, the really interesting information. As of yesterday, the average 30-year mortgage, the 30-year average interest rate was 3.92%. Okay, so that's what was killing me, because of course we knew the prices for the interest rates were going to go up. I mean, how long have I been warning you guys? But what's not fair is last week I told you guys to do the math. Just do the math and you'll see that you should be buying a house, blah, 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 blah. And that, I thought about it, I was like, that's not fair. Most of the people out there have never bought a house. Like, you were going to buy a house during the recession when you could barely keep a job? No. So a lot of the people out there, y'all have never bought a house before, or it's been so long, you're like, what on earth? And you're basically starting over. So we're going to go over to the math together, okay? So thankfully, I did all of this ahead of time. It was a lot of math, y'all, so that you guys would be saved from having to do it yourselves. And I do this every day, all day. So that's pretty sad that I had to like sit there and get the calculator out. But I had to get 2 calculators out, actually. All right, so those lovely brand new construction homes, we are going to use them as the shining example. So we have one of those right here, brand new construction, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, double car garage, very cookie cutter house. It's over in Summerfield, which is basically southeast Ocala, almost to the villages, basically, but not in the villages. Total area is 1,868 square feet. It's about a 1/4 acre lot. Heated under air, it's 1,331 square feet, so a little under 1,400. It's got tile and carpeting, walk-in master, appliances. You got the refrigerator, range with hood, dishwasher, beautiful cabinets in there. It's a block home, concrete block. So it's just the basics, okay? All right, what's interesting is that exact same house, not that exact same house, but the same model home, square footage and everything, they actually used the same picture, was up for sale. It closed in January of 2021. Same builder, same house, different lot that they built it on, but that's the only difference. Everything is exactly the same. I think they even use the same cabinets in the kitchen. I mean, it is exactly the same. 1,331 square feet of living. I mean, literally, it's the same within a foot, okay? That one closed January 14th, 2021. So it is a true replica, basically. So we can see exactly what happened a year ago to now. Is that exciting? That's exciting. I thought that was really exciting. Anyway, okay. So we have that one and this one. So we're going to do a comparison. That one 1 year ago, almost to the day, sold for $154,900. So a year ago, everybody that listened to me, I know I'm being totally female here and saying, I freaking told you so. Everybody that listened to me a year ago when I said, please buy a house now, please buy a house now. And they're like, oh, the house prices are going up. I'm just going to wait for the crash. Y'all, seriously. In the meantime, you're paying rent the whole time. And rent went crazy. You think these house prices went crazy? The rent was astronomical crazy this year, and it's still continuing to climb. So that's not a good plan. All right, so we're gonna use that example right here. So last year, that same house from the same builder sold for $154,900. Not only that, and here's the really important part, the 30-year fixed national average interest rate at that time was 2.8%. That's huge. So the monthly payment on that house at that time, that person who bought that house, they're paying $636 for their house payment. $636. Not only that, they have earned, that they can literally say, I have X amount of equity in my house, because they could sell that same house now for tens of thousands of dollars more than they bought it for. So they not only have lived much less expensive than the rent, but they have also got so much equity in just 12 months. This is what I'm telling you, okay? Purchase a home. All right, so let's say, but if you say, okay, what about the taxes? What about the property tax, the insurance, and oh, you're gonna have PMI, and what about down payment and all that? I got all of that. See, that's the math here we got. Okay, so at that time, let's say you're going to do a USDA, both of these houses, all the houses up there, they qualify for a USDA. What is USDA? Well, you've seen USDA stamped on stakes before, right? It's the same department. Oh, so sorry. I'm going to try and remember to edit that out, but I probably won't. Okay. So USDA, it's stamped on stakes, right? It's the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Well, they also have a program for rural development. Okay, so those rural areas, which Ocala qualifies, okay, we are very much rural. Anything basically outside of the city of Ocala, which is, I don't know, 80% of the county, it qualifies for USDA financing, which is very similar to a conventional loan. It just has to be outside of those areas. But because they are helping to have housing in rural areas, they have this program where it's zero money down. So that's a zero money down. There is no money down on that. Okay, so before I get too close, what about closing costs? Well, I normally do closing costs right around 4%. It really just depends on what lender you're using, what your credit is and stuff like that. So I don't know, but I normally guesstimate about 4%. You can sometimes do 3%, sometimes it's higher than that. It just depends, but normally I'll do like 3 or 4%. Okay, so that's like $5,000 back then. Back then, it was literally 12 months ago, okay? Making it sound like it was 20 years ago. It's 12 months ago. All right, so let's say about $5,000 in closing costs. And then a monthly payment of $636. You have your property taxes. I estimated you'd have your home buyer homesteading. So you have about property tax around $1,400. Your insurance at that point was about $500, $550, so I put $542. And then of course your PMI, which would have dropped off once you got 20% equity, which by the way, probably would have been 6 months in, was about $128 monthly. So that means that your monthly, with everything included, and you would have been under the builder's warranty this entire year. So anything that breaks, it's covered under the warranty. You would have had all of that for a grand total of $926 a month. I'm just going to let that sink in. Okay. That being said, if you took that same house at $224,900, so today's price, at that same interest rate, your monthly payment would be $924. See how that plays in? So even though the house prices went up, I was still encouraging you to go ahead and buy because those interest rates were so low. It's like you're really not, it's not that huge of a difference, okay? Even with all your taxes, your insurance and everything, it would have been $1,293. So not a huge astronomical difference because that interest rate was still really low. It's starting to creep up, okay? I estimated, because it is going up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. So if you catch it on the right day, you have good credit, stuff like that, you could get it now in today's current market with that same interest rate. You've got $224,900. The interest rate we'll say is 3.5% because the one that I gave you was the national average, but you can sometimes get lower than that. So we're going to say 3.5%. With just the house payment, it's going to be about $1,010. So it's a big jump, right? But it's still pretty low. You can handle $1,000, right? With your taxes and your insurance, and insurance has gone up, and I accounted for that. So I put the insurance at $787, but that's still $1,379. That same house, that exact same house, for rent right now would be $1,600 at least, okay? So the closing costs would come up as well. So you'd have about probably right around $9,000 in closing costs. So not only do you have the closing costs higher from $5,000 to $9,000, but you also have a higher monthly payment. But it's still reasonable, okay? It's still less than rent. By far, it's less than rent. Hundreds of dollars less than rent. And not only that, if you went ahead and had to go and move into a rental, or if you have to change rentals or whatever, because at the end of your lease, the owner might say, I'm selling this house, you have to move. You have absolutely no stability in a rental. You might think maybe you've lived there for 10, 15 years. At any point, the owner could pass away, the kids inherit, they want nothing to do with it, they're gonna sell it, and you have to move. There's no stability there. So let's say that you have that home that you're needing to rent because you moved out of whatever house because of whatever reason. You've now got at least $1,600, which is probably more than that, but I'm gonna be really fair and say $1,600 per month. Your security, your first month's rent, your last month's rent, plus heaven help us if you got a pet and you have to do pet fees, if they're even approved, plus your application fees and stuff like that, you're looking at least $5,000 to move into that house just as a rental. And then paying $1,600 per month for the privilege of living in that rental. And again, that's pretty low. It's probably more than that, but I'm trying to be conservative. So let's say you go ahead and purchase the house at $224,900. You pay 3.5% interest rate. You pay your property tax. You pay your insurance. You pay your PMI until you have 20% equity. You pay your closing costs. Instead of $5,000 moving into a rental, you're going to pay $9,000 in closing costs. No money down. you're going to be paying $13.79. So even if you just purchased it and owned it and lived in it for a year or two, you're still saving hundreds of dollars over a rental. And that is the math I was hoping that you would take a look at. If you want, I can send you all of these, numbers and the information about the houses. I have absolutely no problem. I can email it to you. These are the mortgage rate history for the last 12 months. Feel free to look at that. I mean, you can get that online. But yeah, you can definitely see how it has steadily gone up. Some months it dips down, but mostly it's been eking right up there. So, yeah. Do what you can to get into a home while it's still affordable. Absolutely wanted to encourage you to do that. I know I was picking on you guys last week so much, but I do get a lot of people that are like, oh, you're a realtor, so you're just trying to sell us a house. Oh, you're a realtor. It's your job to try and sell us a house. I don't care. We have property management. I will rent you a house. I just don't think it's what's best for you. But if you want to stick to renting, I have plenty of homes for you to look at. That's not true. We don't have that many homes to look at. We have about 150 homes in property management. I think we've got like 3 of them that are vacant. And that's pretty much the average. We normally only have a few vacancies at any given time because they're in just such high demand. We have a really good reputation for rentals and property management here in Ocala. So normally, as soon as a moving truck pulls up, somebody's just like, oh, you're moving out. Oh, your house is up for rent. And they're like, yeah, absolutely. Here, call my property manager. They're awesome. And away it goes. So some of them just never hit the market because they're just gone before then. It's just crazy. But if you want to see our rentals and see if my pricing is accurate, feel free to do that. You can check out our rentals at GER.ExpectMoreOcala.com and click the rentals tab. It is all right there for you. So one other quick thing I will definitely ask you, please, if my videos are at all interesting, if they're educational, if they're entertaining, please click the subscribe button. I have a goal of getting 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2022. Please help me reach that goal. And if you think that this is at all valuable to somebody please share. Anyway, you guys have a great Monday night, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.